So far, so good. The Nets played without Durant and Irving and did better in the fight. But before these hot news, subscribe to Nets Today and leave your like on the video. We promise to bring news all the time. Now let's get to what matters. In the first game of a new era, the Brooklyn Nets defeated the Chicago Bulls 116-105. This was the first time Brooklyn played without stars Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who were sent to the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks, respectively, before the trade deadline. Brooklyn seemed part of a carefree, drama-free basketball-playing team, free from the impending drama of star-resisting and heavy roster turnover. Joe Harris said, "It's obviously very early, but the energy around the group seems similar to what it was when we had those developmental years where guys were finding themselves, but there was a good energy around the team. Everyone put effort into playing the right way, believed in what the coaches were saying, and we hope to get to that point with this group we have now." Spencer Dinwiddie, who spent 5 seasons in Brooklyn before being traded in a multi-team contract a year and a half ago, seemed at home in Brooklyn. This was his first game as a Net since December 2020, and he did not disappoint, losing the team's record of 25 points in 8 of 17 shots to go with 6 assists. When you're a sub-all-star level guy and not necessarily a household name in terms of putting butts in the seats, then you understand you can get pushed around, especially in a relatively affordable contract for production. "So it's part of the business, you can't get mad about it," Dinwiddie said about the whirlwind of being traded to Brooklyn near the trade deadline. He then concluded with, "Like I said, if I was to revisit one of the 3 places I've been, it would definitely be here, unequivocally." Continuing the trend of the Nets' long-standing pillars rising to the occasion. Joe Harris also had a good outing, going 6 of 9 from 3 for 18 points, all of which came in the second quarter when Brooklyn made its intentions known. "It was strange. It was funny because in the first half, when Joe was raining threes, I was like, hey, this is how it used to be," Dinwiddie said about Harris's fiery second quarter. "So that was strange, but it's fun." Cam Thomas also made 20 points in 13 of 13 perfects at the line, but struggled with shot selection, going just 3 of 16 from the field after losing 3 consecutive 40-point games. "It's great to see that you can't replicate the fact that he starts, I guess, 0 for 6 somewhere out there on the field and then has the chance to sit on the bench, regroup and get back into the game, and make an impact. And the great part about it is he starts to sprinkle a little bit and get down the hill more. He's going to draw more attention," said Vaughn. "What I loved about it was that he maintained some composure throughout the night and in the second half, found out where to get to his spots and drive the basketball. So that was growth in itself because he started not making shots." For Chicago, Zach LaVine led the way with 38 points, the game high, on 16 of 25 shooting. No other Bull scored more than 15 points. The Brooklyn defense, loaded with a roster of versatile defenders Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Yuta Watanabe, lived up to its billing. Switching along the perimeter forced the Bulls to a nightmarish 19.2% shooting from deep on just 25 total three-pointers. The Nets, in turn, shot 38.6% from deep on 44 total deep attempts. That effectively sealed the deal on this one. "Yeah, I think overall I don't know what the ceiling is," said Jacques Vaughn about the Brooklyn defense. "We're going to try to dig and work every day to maximize this group. I talked to the group about the expectation of winning every day, and every fiber of your being has to be dedicated to doing your job as a teammate. So we're going to challenge these guys, man, and try to maximize them and see what happens." The new era of Nets basketball didn't start off well offensively. Brooklyn was frigid offensively from deep, hitting just 2 of 11 from beyond the arc. The Bulls, in turn, was paced by a hot start from LaVine, who scored 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting. Behind LaVine's hot start, who spent the week in trade rumors, the Chicago burst out to a 26-19 lead. Harris decided it was time to snap the Brooklyn's below-zero offensive performance from behind the arc. In just 7 minutes of game time, Harris, the longest-tenured Net, scored 18 points on a perfect 6 of 6 from 3. He simply couldn't miss. Behind Joe's ridiculous shooting performance, the Nets trimmed the deficit and ended the half ahead, 53-50. LaVine continued cooking in the third quarter to bring his Bulls back. He scored another 14 points on 8 shots. The Brooklyn, in turn, cooled off once again from behind the line and on the field overall with just 28.6% on 14 threes and 40% respectively. The Bulls entered the fourth quarter ahead, 84-79. The Bulls' attack, despite LaVine's hot performance, encountered serious stagnation in the fourth quarter. LaVine and DeRozan received a large part of the attack, and this fell right into the trap of Brooklyn's defense, which is now loaded with strong individual defenders after deadline trades. Dinwiddie dropped in 13 points, including one of his 3 trademark stepbacks with the shot clock expiring to freeze the game. Yuta Watanabe also hit 2 3-pointers from the left side of the court with good cross-court passes from the young guys, Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe, to carry Brooklyn to the finish line. "We just found a way," Vaughn said about the victory. "No panic from our guys. I thought they really did a good job of focusing on a game plan. It's great to see us really locked in, and especially at the end of the game defensively. So overall, we just found a way and figured it out, and there were some ups and downs throughout the game, but again, no panic from this group. Well done!" It was good to see Joe Harris look like himself again. There has been a lot of talk about Joe this season, many of them unflattering. Would he be on the trade list after the deadline? Was he the same player after 2 ankle surgeries last season? Our Lucas Kaplan detailed on Twitter the decline of Joe as an athlete, his speed clearly reduced compared to a few years ago. But he can still shoot the rock beautifully. As mentioned, Joe rescued the Brooklyn attack, which was stuck in the mud in the first quarter with only 19 points in total, exploding into an absolute hell in the second quarter. We're talking 18 points on 6 levels of 3 on fire. He looked like the old Joe Harris, who led the league in a 3-point percentage for 2 full seasons. Harris started moving to the right corner for his first 3-pointer. His second 3 came running from a Dinwiddie pin-down screen to a Ben Simmons transfer on one of Brooklyn's patented Chicago sets. His third 3 came from Simmons again, a tray ball in transition. The fourth 3-pointer was well contested by Alex Caruso. Didn't matter. All liquid. If you thought the last 3 were well defended, wait until you see Joe's fifth 3-pointer, a double bomb visual with the shot clock expiring. The guy was unstoppable. It's good to see him regain his talent. Cam Thomas and Spencer Dinwiddie were the stars of Thursday's show, and then they got the post-game show on TNT, but as seen, the star turn may not have been worth it for Thomas. 2 days ago, Dinwiddie joked with the media that, although the Nets may not have acquired the most talented players in the business, they got the best-looking ones. And the Nets needed help in that department, he said. That's it, my brothers! Let's see where this story leads. Follow the channel for more news on this matter. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on the video. See you here on Nets Today.